Hey class, this is Dan Gregoire doing the video on teachers' disposition and how they should handle or conduct themselves as far as in a learning environment. And please excuse if you hear any loud screams or outbursts. Those are my kids in the background. I'm actually hiding upstairs. Was gonna record on my porch, but it's a rainy day, so I had to retreat to the bedroom. So I feel like I have a pretty good insight on this. My parents were both teachers, and my mom was a special education teacher, and how to teach behavior, not modification, but enable the classroom to get them learning and getting the right behavior out of them. So I feel like I have a pretty good insight into how that is. But I think in all things, you're dealing with adolescents are energetic. They have a lot of energy. You need to at least meet that level of energy or exceed it. And I think that's a really important disposition to have, is that you are leading them, they're not leading you, and they have to keep up with you. And I think that also goes into the next thing, is being positive. You want to give off a positive, not even just a positive vibe, but a positive attitude, so that they can feed off of that. Because I mean, there's a lot of things going on. Their tendencies are to be negative. Their tendency is to, it's the worst thing imaginable. Especially with all the range of emotions, what the brain is going through at the time. I believe that if we conduct ourselves energetically, positively, and with joy, we can really set the standard and example of how to be a teacher. Now, as for educators, I believe that there's just a lot of different aspects of how we need to handle our stuff, but I think organization being one of them, uh, fairness and consistency, um, firm but kind and open and listening. Because if you allow kids to an opportunity to take advantage of you, they're going to try to poke and prod you at every opportunity. So one of the things my mom and my dad used to encourage us is, you're going to be the teacher first, and you're going to be a friend second. So if they abide by the rules that you have established from the very beginning, you don't make them evolve as you go along. You set a standard of, this is what is the expectation is in my classroom. Then if you abide by those rules, we can be friends, and we can have a positive environment, and we can learn together. And hey, it might just be fun. If you don't set up those rules, if you don't establish those, um, let's just say roadblocks, there, you're leaving the door open for interpretation. You're leaving the door open for trouble. I believed disposition. I believe having lived with two teachers, and also having observed multiple teachers throughout the whole, your schooling process. Um, the most positive, upbeat, energetic teachers were the ones that made the biggest impact. I firmly remember my English teacher, who was just a 5 foot ball of energy, and she didn't care if you liked her or not. She was here to teach you. You were there to learn, and if you abided by her rules, and if you did what she asked, did great. You did well in her class. And I realized, actually, looking back on that, even when I was younger, that whether you liked her or you didn't like her, she was able to pull things out of people or nudge them where they would do really good work. And I think that's an example of a great teacher, and their disposition, that they actually care. They want to see you do the work, and that they're going to push you whether you like them or not. Um, and then negative, I think a negative is just not, you view it as a job. You're not looking to. I've seen teachers who are just like, here's the book, you learn. If you have questions, ask me. But they kind of seem distant. They don't seem to care. They show, and their attitude and their body language show that they don't care. I think that really is a negative, and I think they were trying to keep their distance, but they didn't do a good job of being relational and relatable. So that's my video. Look forward to hearing and watching the rest of yours if this is posted. So this is Daniel signing off, and yeah, have a good night.